Hi, Eden.
Tia.
Alrighty, well, I just have a couple announcements and then we'll let Kristen take it away. So, basically, just the beach bars that came out Friday, which is exciting. So, make sure that you guys get yours. I got mine. I ordered the pack of Eden is like maybe. I got the pack of like the chocolate cherry almond and peanut butter, so I'm excited to try them both. Okay, Bailey, I see you're on. Hey, Bailey. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited to try them both. And I don't know, I think that's something that is huge because it's something that I know we as coaches have been asking for a long time is bars. So they're almost the same as Kind bars. So people really tend to love those. So I think they'll really be able to market those easily. And even like on Insta stories, I've seen like a lot of comparison and things like that. And then the other thing is just to be doing like your diamond tracker. Most of you are in that diamond group and be tracking that. And if not, we have a similar tracker for new coaches in our team page in the file section, which you can also use. And that's pretty much what we are using for our diamond tracker. Our diamond tracker is just a little bit more up on the invites and the conversations and things like that. But for the most part, it's the same thing. So you guys can be checking that out too. So yeah, does anybody have anything else to add to announcements? National Wake Up Call tomorrow, of course. I think that is it. So yeah, Kristen, you can go take it away.
Oh, awesome. Well, I love how super chill and relaxed this little team social environment is. It's really nice just to hop on and hang out and kind of just make this interactive. I think Alicia does a really great job about, kind of leading us in that way and just where we can all ask questions at any time. So really what I want to talk about today is time and how it is the hardest, I think, for all of us. So I've been a coach for almost 4 years now and just kind of on and off, honestly, due to a lot of different life happenings, moving multiple times, having a baby, things like that, that kind of slowed me down. I never really stopped. I guess I'll just say I slowed down. But looking back at all of that, I so can see how it is doable to continue with your business and do all that during all of different life events. Especially learning recently a little bit more about something called power pockets. When I first started as a coach, it was all about the power hour and sitting down and doing chunks of work, an hour or two at a time. And in my mind, and then working full time, it just almost seemed impossible because, it's just like, where does the time go in the day? It's so it's frustrating when you are so into this and you have your vision and what you want out of it and you are doing the program, but the day comes, Monday comes, you have all of this in your head lined up that you're gonna wake up, you're gonna do this, you're gonna work for an hour, then you're gonna go to work, you're gonna work on your lunch break, come home, cook dinner like a champ, and then work again. But sometimes life happens and you just don't get in all of that time like you want. So anyways, I want to really talk a lot about that and how life can go with it and how we can make this work. So I'm a mom now, obviously, all of my spam of my son Noah. And honestly, the way I see it, I still have a full-time job. Yes, I do stay home with him. And he's a job. At this age, especially as a toddler, I feel like I'm saving his life every second. Like he's climbing on my mantle and, you know, jumping off of things. And I get so frustrated myself that I cannot sit down and work like I used to whenever I wanted. And I don't want to say that, Alicia, because I know that you're thinking about babies in the future, but you just have to readjust. So he is definitely a full-time job. And I know just like you girls who are moms or have full-time jobs already, like, you know, working outside the home on top of this, that it can all seem overwhelming. So number one, we kind of have to fix what's in our head on about that. And not only with the slight edge that some of us are reading now, there's a book called Eat That Frog. I think it's by Brian Tracy. Is that right, Alicia? Yeah. So that book is huge on time management, and about doing, like, your frog is like your hardest activity, the one that you don't want to do, that's hardest for you, that you do first when you sit down to work. So that's a that I suggest. But kind of back to how we can take it back to our real life, because you know, we all have different working schedules. And I know you farm girls, you wake up probably, I know, Alicia, when you help out with your husband, you guys wake up super, super early to do things like that. But typically, just kind of like a random poll, like, what time do y'all typically wake up during the day?
5.
5.
Tia makes me get up.
Yes, 5.
We're workout buds, so we make sure each one is up at 5:15.
Hey, that's awesome. That is a great way to get that in for sure. And what time do y'all?
That's one on this side.
What time, those of you who do work outside of the home, like, what time do you have to leave for work?
I leave the house at about 8:45 because I have to take my daughter to daycare, and they can't take her until 8:45. So, and it's just 3 houses down from us, so we don't have to be into work until 9:05. Technically, we have a meeting because Tia and I work together too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
So I leave. Yeah, I leave the house at about 8:45 too.
Gotcha. Awesome.
I leave at like 7:30 in the morning. So sometimes I get up and work out, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like to sleep, roll out of bed, leave the house in 15 minutes.
Totally relate to that.
I remember those days.
Yes. Yeah. I had to be at work. We had to start at 7:30 with my job before this, so I understand. I know. So something I think that will help with those early mornings is something called Power Pockets. Have you guys heard of that yet? Yeah. I really feel like just to implement that, I think it can be like a absolute game changer in getting like the vital behaviors done. I know myself in the past, and when I was a new coach, and you know, you get kind of like immersed in all these different trainings, and you're wanting to read this and pick up this, but I would put my like learning first, and I would like learn and listen and take notes and watch all these other coaches. But then here comes the end of the day, and I didn't invite yet. I didn't follow up with any, you know, just things get put off. So if we can eat our frog, do the hardest things, which for me and a lot of people is inviting, you know, do those activities first. You know, just, I know I talked about this with Kelsey's son too, during the day, because I'm the same way now with Noah. I cannot sit down and do a chunk, but we can take 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and knock out inviting first thing. Take 5 minutes, set a timer on your phone. That has been the best thing I've ever done for myself. And I set my phone across the room, because I'll get to where I want to look at the timer on your phone, set it across the room, and have your list ready, like have everything ready to go so you're not scrounging around. Like, who am I going to talk to today? Who am I going to invite? Have it ready to go, and then just knock out those invites. And, Alicia, she has some really great, like, conversation starters and tips for like ways to invite. Have that ready, kind of know in your mind what you're already going to say, and just knock those people out, and then check you're done with inviting for the day, and then get on to like following up. For me, I used to do this and it was so bad, and if I do it now, I get so upset at myself. But do not answer messages as they roll in. I think that is like the biggest time waster ever. And it takes away from your family time, which is the most important time, you have, which is for most of us why you're doing this business anyways. You don't want your family, your husbands, your kids to resent you for constantly looking at your phone, being like, hey, I got to message this person quickly about their question about my challenge group or whatever. I promise you that those people can wait, because they need to honor your time. So they're not going to go anywhere. I kind of have the motto of like, I don't like to leave a message unanswered more than 24 hours. So by the next morning, I promise you they'll still be there. So don't sit there. Have a very specific time in one of those power pockets where you're just answering messages, because like I said, you'll kind of make yourself crazy by constantly hearing that ding, which definitely turn off your notifications with that. And that dinging sound on Facebook drives me nuts. So turn it off if it does for you, and just have that specified time. That has been a huge help for me. There was a couple more things that I wanted to talk about too, but just like the tracker that we all have access to, that we look at each day, that you can easily print off and check those boxes. If you know that, you're going to be working out from like 5:30 to 6:30, and then, you've got 5 minutes before you take a shower, use those 5 minutes. Like, utilize every free minute that you have in those little chunks, those little 10-minute chunks, to do like exactly what you need to do. And think of it as like you're doing this now so that you can, number one, spend time with your family later, and that you also get the glory of checking. Don't you all feel wonderful about just checking things off that you do it? So that has been huge. And also it's helpful if you kind of like on that tracker too, Alicia has for each day, like, post topics, like what to post about, so that you don't have to sit and, oh my gosh, I used to spend forever like trying to come up with a great post. Like, if it takes you more than 3 minutes to come up with a post, you got to move on. Like, you got to, you can't just sit there and it just is, it's a time waster. If you're reading personal development or listening to it, that is like major content right there, because if you kind of take notes as you go along, or things that you can relate with in a book, turn that into a post. Is like the greatest thing. And of course, don't stock image things from Pinterest, but like take that post and take your selfie and show that, or show whatever picture. Just don't share like those Pinterest quotes or whatever. But anyways, that's just a really like short tip on getting content out there from what you're already, one of your behaviors you already have to do, which is fill up your mind with great personal development, so that it'll keep you going through the day. A nighttime is also like a big thing for me, because I don't want to like take away time from like my husband and us, like just sitting down together, like if it's for 10 minutes at night and just watching like a 10-minute show together, or 10 minutes 10 minutes or whatever, like I will like work and try to do as much as I can before that happens, just so that we can have that time together. So if you can think of your family as your reward at the end of the day, like to check all those off and get to that time, because I think for all of us, that's a lot of why we're doing this business is for them. So kind of think of it that way, and you have to change your mindset quite a bit to get to where you have the motivation to do these little increments of time. I think that will be helpful for you all too. So really quickly on tracking, I know Alicia does a lot of like a notebook system, and she is really great at that. And I really am one to say that if something is working well for you, you kind of have to stick with it. You just need to do it. That wasn't working well for me because I was so scatterbrained. So I have kind of taken on Google Streak. Have any of you heard of Google Streak?
I've heard of it. I just haven't done anything with it.
And is everyone doing some form of either like pen to paper or like any other, is everyone tracking, like knowing who you're talking to? Everybody? Yeah.
A little bit.
Kind of. That's another big time management skill that's gonna keep you rolling, is you have to track in some way, shape, or form, whether that's, like I said, pen to paper or, you know, any type of, there's so many different forms online that you can do. But I have really researched and seen a lot of other coaches use Google Streak, and I started it a few months ago, and it is really great. What I like about it, I'm going to share my screen with you and kind of show you a little bit of it. But what I love the best is I feel like it's taken my business to a, like, people take me a little more seriously, because I take those applications to the challenge group and send those to, you know, the person who's interested. Of course, they have to enter their email so that information gets sent back to them. But I take everything to email now. And I just kind of like that better for some reason. I don't know why. Plus, I always have a way to reach them again if they don't look at Facebook all the time like we do.
Kristen, do you want to share your screen? I think you can. You could share like your Google Streak with them then.
Yeah, sorry, I was just rambling on about
No,
it.
that's okay. I just wanted to catch you. I was like, wow, you're on Google Streak.
Yeah. Let's see. Can you see me? My screen yet? Here we go. Okay, so anyways, I do like it for the email feature. And also, I will say that this looks really complicated and overwhelming and annoying, but once you like get the hang of it, it has made everything so much simpler for me, because I have everyone all in one place and I don't lose anyone, because that was my big problem before. I would talk to someone and then they would be like in this notebook, and my brain just did not work that way. And I just needed like a system where I knew where everyone was and I could like quickly move them on to the next step. So I got my layout from Melanie Mitro. I watched her YouTube video on Google Streak, and I highly recommend. I think it's only like 10 to 15 minutes long. It's super short. It's worth watching even if you aren't interested in doing this. So if you get a chance, I would try to watch it. She has it very simple, because a lot of other coaches I've seen, they have like a lot of stuff going on. So basically, I have you know, my coach lead section, and I'm going to like tell you in a minute how you can get Google Streak if you want it and what all of this means. But basically, my like main categories are my coach leads, my coaches, my customer leads, which is like the biggie, and like current challenge groups. I can put people that I'm already working with in one spot, so that I know that I need to continually check on these people throughout the week, and then like a free group section and people who've given me objections. So very, very short and simple. Like I don't have a lot of stuff because I don't need complicated in my life. I need very simple. So I'm just going to show you my customer leads section, which we're already here, but I like pink, if you can't tell. So this is from Melanie Metro. I have everybody off here in like an initial message, which is like just, you know, we have a common interest and I've wanted to start a conversation with you. And I'm just going to shorten that up there because it is kind of overwhelming. But once we kind of like start relaying back and forth a conversation, and they do answer me back because some people don't, I put them over into the forming section, which is here. And then I don't know, I think when I edited this, somehow the invited, you know, should not be at the bottom, but it is. So that's down here at the bottom. Now I'm going to show you real quickly. You can move people so easily around in this. Like, it is amazing once you figure this out. You can take notes and everything. So like this amber right here, I'm going to double click on in this initial message, and this is how you can move people down throughout another category. If you wanted to, like I could switch her over to forming, just, you know, click that and it would move her name right on over. So this, you can't see me pointing, I'm going to use my cursor, but all this stuff here at the top, I kind of don't even pay attention to it. It's kind of annoying to look at because it's a lot of words. In my mind, I am basically looking at this stuff right here. Like this is where my, if that makes sense to y'all. Now, I talked about like the importance of applications. I think that makes people take you seriously. Alicia has given an example of one in the team page of, you know, invite them to the challenge group. And then I always say, okay, let me send you my application to see if this is something that's going to work for you. And then they're like, okay, an application, wow. So, you know, send that over to them, let them fill it out, and then I get it back, their answers back. And then, you know, there goes the rest of your conversation. You know what you're going to talk about based on their answers. But anyways, from that, I put, you know, their email and everything already in here, and say you have a lot of people to follow up with because, you know, they said no, or, you know, something happened. And you have a whole list of people who couldn't do it, say, you know, in April. I can send out a mass email to all of those people in April who couldn't do the challenge group, and, you know, send out one email to all of these people saying, like, you know, the next group is starting, you know, this month, and I know it didn't work out for you, but here's what's coming up. That just saves you so much time instead of messaging back each person, you know, individually. My gosh, because that can take hours, you know, reaching back out, because it has for me in the past. It was such a time waster. So that's a lot what Melanie Metro talks about is huge for her, obviously, because she's the top coach and she has thousands of people who send her their responses to her applications and everything. So she has to do this quickly. So that's kind of what I need in my life, because I don't have time to sit and do all of that re-messaging. Now, there are certain reasons that you need to personally message people back, but for the most part, I think that was really kind of what struck me to get into this. So if y'all are the kind of people who need that, where it's just very quick, you know, send out this to this group of people. You know, same thing for your current coaches. If you need to send them something, it's just a great way to do. Now, this is through Google and Gmail, so you do need a Gmail account to use it. So my old Gmail account just had my name in it, and I wanted something that was a little more professional. So I don't even know how I was able to do this, but I wanted to use my same email that was also linked to my Beachbody account, and I've somehow linked the two together, and am now using a new one that's kind of connected to everything else through Gmail, and it's more professional, I think. So people kind of resonate, I guess, with me a little better in that way. So that's what I'm doing, and I really, really like it. Like I said, all this mess up here, don't even like think about it. I'm just looking at this stuff. It's the same thing. Basically, with this Google Streak, it's like a funnel system. So, like I was saying, getting everyone started out in one spot, like the first message, and then moving them on down, because ultimately you want to get them in to your current group. So it's all about, these are called pipelines, and your little categories, like my coach leads, my coaches, my specific challenge groups. Those are my pipelines. So, and then let me see, I have a couple notes here. I will say, like, what we're doing as a team with our challenge groups, coaching them together, is another amazing time saver, and also going to help you propel your business a little bit more forward by not feeling like the weight is all on your shoulders by coaching your own challenge group. That used to overwhelm me so much when I first started, because I felt like I couldn't give these challengers what they needed if they weren't a part of something bigger. So what we're doing, I think, is wonderful with like our current big 80-day obsession group, and how we're going to turn that into the Country Strong group that's going to be ongoing. I think it gives people, like, I don't know, when you see someone else sharing, I think it helps you share. So don't feel like you have to coach your own unless you do. But for me, that's huge. Of course, we all need to go live in there as much as we can, so that your challengers see you, I think, is a major. And definitely, take your week and know which day of the week you're going to check in on your people. Like, that is huge. You can't let your current challengers fall through the cracks, because you'll lose them. So you just have to plan. In this business, it's all about laying everything out, making it so simple. Just kind of knowing when you're going to do something makes everything easier. And of course, doing those awful, dreaded, your frog first, which can be easier than you think, especially when, say, like your forming section here. I know that like tomorrow I can invite Sheena and Kayla and Caitlin and Jenny and all of these people in this little list, so that I can move them on down. Like, I already know what's in front of me, if that makes sense to y'all, if we're kind of like thinking in the same way. But anyways, that's just kind of what I do that has helped me save time tremendously. Definitely watch Melanie's video on this. It will all make better sense than what I can explain to you. But do y'all have any questions about Google Streak or anything else we've talked about? And I will stop sharing because I can go back to it, but it's kind of annoying to keep looking at it.
Anybody have any questions for Kristen?
Are most of you pen to paper people?
I'm not. I was one that knew about it, but just haven't taken the time to, figure it out and get it set up and whatnot. And
yeah,
I just
have to set up some time.
Yeah, I've just been, using my notes app or just like a Google sheet. I just didn't put it in my Diamond Tracker screenshot to Alicia, but I have like a follow-up list and stuff like lower on my tracker because I need it like on my phone wherever I go because I'll forget about it and I need to just.
And Google Streak has an app too. Sorry if I interrupted, but I wanted to let you know that too, so that when you're work during the day and you're on your computer, you can just keep adding people in there like that.
Yeah, no, I like seeing your screen because that makes it make a lot more sense.
Yeah, and what I did was I literally was watching Melanie Mentor's video and paused and took pictures of what she had laid out. And so I knew exactly what to put in. Like I didn't have to take up the time to like create this myself. Like she's already done it. So I just used it.
That's what I need to do. Don't laugh at me, Tia.
That's what I do. No, thank you for sharing that because I think Google Streak will definitely be something that I will utilize. Because everything. Sorry, go ahead, Alicia.
I can see both, like you and Danelle. I could see you guys using it. Like I'm such a pen to paper person, so like yeah. But we have less than a minute left, you guys. So are there any last minute questions? No. Everybody's quiet. Everybody's like, no.
Sorry, I rambled on too much.
No, it's okay. That was great. Thank you, Kristen. And I don't know, I'm kind of thinking of having the girls in my diamond group lead a team call. So whoever would like to do that, I'm going to kind of have like do like a file in our team page, and then you guys can sign up for like whatever date you would like coming up. But I think that will be part of kind of the assignment for April and just kind of being in the diamond group. I had that like idea when we were sitting on this call. So whoever wants to do next week's, go for it.
And I'd imagine it can be about like whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about. I don't have any. Yeah, anything. Alrighty. I hope everybody has a good week, and I guess we'll see everybody on next week.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Kristen.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.